Hello, I'm still Sea Storm. Welcome to another van ride. Today's video is going to be from Rainstorm Car Wash in Hobart, Indiana on Ridge Road, all the way west to Grant Street in Gary, Indiana. Then I'm going to turn down Grant Street and we're going to take that all the way to 5th Avenue, and that'll be the end of the video. So, hope you all are enjoying the videos. Feel free to share your memories. I love reading them, and I love seeing people interact with each other, remembering all the good things about Gary. Just remember one thing, no matter how bad it is now, we were fortunate enough to be alive and enjoy it when it was vibrant and bustling with people, and the schools were jammed to the rafters, and we had friends and memories all around Gary. That's why I do these videos. It's about the memories. Ridge Road, Hobart, Indiana, Grant Street, Gary, Indiana. Take Grant Street all the way north and hit 5th Avenue, and that'd be the end of the video. Once again, let's do it. Get in, buckle up. Let's go. Oh, it's always such a pain in the butt to get out right here, especially making a left turn. Yikes. Come on. Move up a little bit. There you go. This guy's got like 2 car lengths ahead of him, and he's just going to sit here and leave my buttocks of the van out in the solid line. Hey, here we go, here we go. Remember, there used to be an Oasis jewelry store right there, and then Jansen's was right there. Anybody else remember what was right there? Yep, all this right here. It's all gone now. CVS replaced the Jansen's. So the whole corner right there. You know, I don't know if you're still in the region or from around the region or used to be here, but Hobart, Indiana was like a spot that we used to always like to come out to because it wasn't overcrowded. Had Lake George, and the Main Street scene was pretty happening, and you know, there was always people out walking and stuff like that. But it was never overcrowded. Man, it's gotten so bad. It has gotten so bad. It's just overwhelming. You know, there's too many people that caught on to a good thing, and now, you know, the city's overwhelmed. But I mean, hey, you know, kudos to Hobart. They annexed part of Maryville by the mall and all that, and Hobart holds it down, that's for sure. But man, it's just so overcrowded anymore. Those little streets weren't made for all that. Shoot, Hobart, it's like every summer they have a big project to do. I mean, you don't have to. The old infrastructure, you know, the bridge, they replaced it, the bridges and all that stuff like that, because of all this traffic. And you know, when you've got businesses, you got to remember, it's not just cars. You have to have, you know, semis and stuff like that delivering your goods. So of course they're going to use those roads, and they just weren't built for all that. They used to have the big JC Fest over here in this Stratton Van Til parking lot. I worked for the End Zone part-time a couple of days a week to help them out, and they had a JC Fest out there. He had Warren with Janie Lane, and I had one of the booths. We had beer, and we were, had the grill going. And one of the security guards came over to get food for me. He said that he was in the store and he dropped a bottle of wine. He was in there being an idiot. He wouldn't sign autographs. He didn't want to see nobody. I always remember that. However, I did make a grilled chicken sandwich and talked for about 5 minutes with Tiffany, that girl from the 80s. I think We're Alone Now, that song she had. Yeah. I had a bunch of pictures and stuff like that. I'm going to have to upload all this stuff one day. Spent a lot of time in all these little spots: Hobart, Lake Station, New Chicago, Portage, definitely Gary. Over to the left on this Grand Boulevard, over to the left there, they cleared all that out. They're going to start building a bunch of subdivisions over there. Since I cut the light, I'll show you real quick. See right there? I have seen more accidents on this corner right here, this light, and the next one up. It's terrible. Wisconsin Street, the next one up. Every winter. There's a cross right there in the ground, next to the pole right there, right now. For some reason, this is just a bad intersection. People get in such a hurry, or they fly through here when it's, I don't get it. The only thing I can come up with, the conclusion is, it's a bunch of kids that don't know how to drive, or people that just don't care. Because I know when it gets icy and cold out here in the wintertime, I drive very, very careful. My heart is always pounding because I'm not worried about, concerned about how I drive, but the other people around here, it's just gotten terrible. And we have a lot of people from Illinois coming out here now, and it's gotten ridiculous. I see people run lights and stop signs all the time. I do. You'll probably end up seeing one before this video's over with. It's terrible out here. It is. It's terrible. But, it's a different world. I'm glad that I'm 60 now. I was born in 65, so, I had a lot of good times growing up. A lot of friends, a lot of memories in this area. I was always out and about, fishing and all that stuff. We'd get out and go shoot pool all the time, and bowling for a while there, and that's where the urban exploring kind of came natural. Once YouTube was around, I seen that there was a possibility to put videos out there for people who are interested in Gary, or live in Gary, or whatever it is, want to invest in Gary, just curious. It'd always be there, and I'm pretty proud of that. I got like 3,000 videos now. I've never thrown myself all over the internet. I just do what I do. I put a subscribe and put a like at the end of it and ask for that, and I just let it do its thing, People find it. I mean, most people don't even know the Steel City Storm is until you watch it. I'm a documentarian, urban explorer. I like going out for car rides. I like going to different spots. Me and the wife end up going to different nice places, botanic gardens and just nice car rides. But I started off doing, these urban exploring videos in Gary. And it's just gotten, I pretty much covered everything. Everything that I thought was worthy of, documenting. But, I'm never going to be finished. I'll always find something out there to go look at. But you got to remember, you got to be safe out there. It's not smart going out there by yourself on a nice day, on the weekend, it's just not smart. People don't move the way they used to back in the day. I never was concerned about that. These people have no heart no more. They don't. Not these people, some people out there, they just don't think about, back like in the day, we never would put a mother or a child or an elderly person in harm's way, no matter what you're doing. It seems like these youngins now, they're just raised different. They don't have that caring genetic in them. And it's sad. It's sad. It really is. Doing a bunch of construction over here now, to the left. Yeah, the region is definitely tearing down the old stuff and putting a lot of new stuff. And I'm glad we were able to jump on that before everything is gone and nobody ever, you know, if you're interested in seeing old stuff, which I am, I think it's fascinating. The way they built things, the way they sold things, you know, how times have changed. And I know it's rough looking at some of these videos because it's rough for me getting out there and doing them, trust me. It's like going to my elementary school. You know, Franklin, right down the street here. I grew up right down there, and it's been shuttered for, 15 years now. It's gotten worse and worse, and I drive by it quite a few times. And it just tugs at your heartstrings. It really does. New Wallace, they end up demolishing that finally. That thing set like it was a haunting school. And it was one of the most beautiful schools. And I was there. I know how it looked. I remember how it looked. It was beautiful. And to let it get to be the way it was, that was a big waste of money. They should have gutted it and turned it into something. Not just demolish it, but, you know, you let these things get too ahead of themselves, you know, what are you going to do? And I'm trying to talk a little bit loud. That's why my voice sounds like this. I hear myself, I'm like, why do I sound like that? I'm trying to talk a little bit loud because the camera's up there on the dash. And look at that. To the left. Yo, Glen Park Cleaners. That's terrible. And to the right out here, some guy was shot and killed over a watch right here at this car place. With his van and this guy's at. Went there and shot and killed that guy over a watch, and he gave him the watch. So I say, you gotta watch how you move around here. You know, I know that I have things that somebody out there in the street wouldn't mind jacking me for. I mean, first off, just the van. You know, you got your phone, your van, you know, whatever money you got in here, you know, your pistol, whatever it is. You gotta watch how you move around out here now. Before it was always, you know, hey, you know so-and-so, and I grew up out here, and then it was a nice conversation. And there's been a few here and there's where, you know, I had to tell them to back off a little bit. Corner of Georgia Street. They call it it's Malcolm X Drive now. These all these old Winnebagos and stuff jammed up in that lot. I ought to get out there and do a video of that lot. I've been looking at it for years now. Looks like the gate's knocked down. If you have seen the video that I did, the last goodbye to the beautiful homes on Ridge Road, these are them coming up here to the left. I mean, and let me say something else. All Gary is not, you know, abandoned houses and abandoned businesses. You know, I just drive and I call like I see it. It's like these apartments, these houses up to the left. Those are the once beautiful homes, you know, and they're all tore up. That's my fault? That's this guy's fault walking down the street? No, it's not. There's more than one finger to point. Trust me. Look at these ones right here on the right. Whose fault is it looks like that? I've never seen any other city that would allow that, even if it was abandoned property or not. Like, you can cut that down. That's dangerous. Here we are on Broadway. The old pharmacy. Pamplone's Pharmacy right there. It's for sale now. They got a big old sign for sale. I've seen other urban explorers get inside there. I don't want to do that. I've seen enough. I looked through the windows, and I'm not trying to get inside there. The floors are collapsing and all that. But my brother, Midwest Flush, he did a video on it. If you want to go check that out, go check it out. I've done videos on it through the window, but I'm not going in there because I was asked not to, frankly, by somebody who, you know, I respect, and that I told him I wouldn't. So, yeah, I get it. Trust me, I get emails from people in the city. And a couple years back, I was talking about doing that. And they're like, please, you know, don't go inside there, you know, we don't want to see that. And it was from somebody who, you know, has something to do with the city. So I didn't do it. But I'm going to hold to my word, I'm not going to do it. So there you go, Jeff. Jeff L. Jefferson Street. The old Roma's Pizza building right there on the left. Over here in this car lot, some guy was shot and killed in that car lot. One of the owners, I think it was two of the owners, got into it. One guy's in prison and one guy got. Let me put it that way. And now it's like they're reopened for more business. Man, they got them jammed in there. Jeez. The old railroad salvation store. Look at that, the windows busted out. It's all rotted through. Up here on the left, you see these apartment buildings over here. Somebody died in one of those about a year and a half ago. It's been like that ever since. There's an old beauty supply place right there. We did a video on that one. Oh, they demolished this one house up there in the corner. They're remodeling that one, huh? Okay. The old, let's see, where's that? The old, oh, it's up a little bit farther. Yeah, we'll see it. The old car wash. I remember this place was always trouble, man. Back in the day. You go to look at a car wash. It's like, no, I ain't going in there. Oh, look at those potholes. Oh. Excuse me, right here where this fence is at. That's the old car wash. So here's another reason I don't like coming down here. Look, you see how big these potholes are? They're getting all this money from these casinos, and everybody's bragging about how good they're doing, and these damn streets on Ridge Road are terrible. Fix the streets on Ridge Road, please. Or the people have to drive it. I mean, if you stay in your lane, you got side-by-side cars, you can't swerve around. There's some unacceptable potholes there. The old strip club to the right, that was torn down. There's another, that used to be the old Bullwinkle strip club. And over across the light, we're going to turn right here. Here comes Grand Street. Right here where this Golo gas station is, that's where the old cave was. They tore that down. And across the street over there, kitty corner, to the left. That's, I did a couple of videos on that one. That is one of the most dangerous gas stations. It looks terrible when it sits right there. People sit at the light and look at it. Come on. You start PowerPointing some of these teardowns and do the ones that the public has to sit there at a light and look at. It's a terrible, it gives off a bad vibe. You know, and every mirror that I see coming off says the same thing. We want to change the narrative of how people see Gary. Well, how can they see Gary different if you got a gas station with barrels dumped of garbage everywhere and it's fallen down, been caught fire 3 or 4 times, and it's sitting right there at Ridge Road and Grant Street. And it's been like that forever. And when it was open, it was a very dangerous gas station. I did a video on it, and a couple people said there was robberies, and one of them's brother got killed at that gas station. Crazy. There's the Village to the left. A couple days ago, I released the Tri-City Plaza video down there in the Brunswick area of Gary. I sure hope the village doesn't end up looking like that. They need to do something with that quick. Get people in there. Maybe the city needs to take over the village, buy it, do something with it. That'd be a good little spot for a museum or a tourist center. It's right off the highway. Why not? And over here by this Love's truck stop, was a Denny's behind it. It caught fire like a year ago. And it burnt to the ground. I went out there to film it, and a bunch of investigators were out there and asked me not to film that. So I didn't. There's, I think in 8 years, almost 8 years, I've had like 5 people ask me not to film or to take a video down, and I've done it out of 3,000. And that was why I didn't want no heat from that. But I did film it. Matter of fact, members only. For $9.99 a month, you can join that, and there's a lot of behind the scenes. What I did film of it, I have on there. But there's a lot of stuff to look at behind the scenes, and it's a great way to show you support by saying, hey, Storm, I'm a member of the channel, and, you know, that really gives me the drive to keep doing what I do, because I don't really make a lot of money off this. I have a normal job, a regular job, I should say. I don't know about normal, but, and I get pretty beat up at the job. You know, I'm 60 years old, and I pretty much just burn up, I don't know, depends on what video, gas money, you know, and my time that I can be doing other things, because I really wanted to build a community around what I do, and that's just kind of show the love for the region, mostly Gary, because I'm from Gary. And, you know, I can't express it enough. It's just the love that I have. And it's kind of my way of giving back to Gary and saying, you know what? This is something that I did for the city of Gary. And I enjoy doing it. You know, it's not a labor. It's a labor of love, but it's definitely not a labor. I enjoy doing what I do. I think it's fascinating, and nobody else out there is really doing it in the depths that I do it. Besides Joel Henderson, he was into the game before I was, and that's how I hooked up with him. And we've been friends now for over eight years, about 8 years, and we've come a long way in our friendship, you know. And I've met a lot of fun, interesting people doing this urban exploring thing. And now, you know, it's time to get out there and do something different besides getting in abandoned buildings, looking at stuff like that, you know, because I've already done it. So that's why I've decided to do these driving videos, you know. You know what I mean? Sit here talking to myself. But I'm actually visualizing Gary coming back as a very, very important city. Location and the accessibilities to a lot of things, the history of it, the crossroads of America. You know, we're right between Michigan and Chicago, and we got the beaches, and we got the Lake Michigan, and we got all that. I just think that it's going to go to something like fiber optics and trucking. I see a lot of trucking coming this way, and that's a good thing, you know. That's a good thing. Trucking, there's a lot of money in trucking. I remember growing up on 51, that's where all the truck stops was. And those truck drivers, man, they had money. I know they're not making that big money like they used to back in the day, though. I was reading something about that, and I was like, that's a shame. The truck drivers should get definitely their share of the pie. I mean, without the truck drivers, we're all screwed, let's face it. But anyway, that's what I believe. I know Edison School was bought, and they turned that into a trucking firm, and a lot of these other places were bought, turned into trucking firms. Matthews Nursery, same thing. It was turned into a trucking firm, and it's a lot of property, you know, and it's a lot cheaper to do business out here than it is Chicago. And safer. Chicago, they're just wild out there. I've always been intimidated. Chicago's too big. You get lost real quick, fast, and in a hurry out there, and I don't like that. Yeah. I'm good with my little region out here from, I would say, maybe even Hammond. From Hammond all the way to Michigan, I'm good with, but yeah. That's Chicago, and they drive like, they don't even drive like you should ever see anybody drive. I've seen so many things. I had a lady almost tear my bumper off completely. I got in an accident in Chicago about a year ago. Going down a one-way street. Lady tried to pass me on the right-hand side, cut over, caught her back bumper with my front bumper, and the van was down for like a month and a half till I got it fixed. If I wouldn't have snatched back to the left when she hit me, she'd have tore my whole front end off. Over nothing. Passing me on a one-way street on the right-hand side. And if she'd have kept going straight, she'd have hit some parked cars that was ahead of me. Couldn't believe it. Yep. Cemetery out over here on the right, they just reshored all that wall and those pillars back. They redid the steps. That looks nice. That's cool. I like seeing that. Avenue we just passed. Tour guide mode, here we go. Empty gas station to the right. This place over here, this Playos club, there was somebody killed in there. And yeah, some guy in a wheelchair shot another guy. That's crazy. And they closed the club down. It's sad that these clubs, man, they tracked all these guns. It's like everybody's sitting around drinking with guns. No, thank you. No, thank you. A lot of people in Gary feel the way I do about hearing those trains in the distance. It always makes you feel at home. It's comforting to my soul. Don't know why, but I've always been around those trains in the distance. Lucky's Lounge. Famous Lucky's Lounge. You guys have not, if you're new to the channel or you haven't seen the video, that I've done quite a few videos on this one. To my left right there, that's the old Lucky's Lounge. Looks like it's about to fall over. And that's where Michael Jackson and his brothers all got their first paid performance. They used to sing and dance in there for their money, and people would throw change on the floor. And there's videos of Joseph and Catherine talking about that. This corner down here was all trashed and everything else. I'm glad to see it's been cleaned up since I did a video on it. Almost got into it with a couple guys that worked here to the right. There's garbage all the way where those trucks are parked, all the way to the bridge. Now that they're filming it, what are you doing? I said, I'm filming all this garbage everywhere. And like, my boss don't want you doing that. I said, well, tell your boss to clean it up then. Yes, it's on video with them saying that, me. there's so much to see. There's so many adventures that I've been on out here, and looking back at it, I'm very proud of what I've done as far as getting all these videos out there and for people to watch if you're interested. So here we go. We're coming down the Methodist Hospital. 5th Avenue's up here ahead, so this is going to be the end of our drive. If you enjoyed it, you know, of course I'm going to ask you for a thumbs up. And if you're not a member, please do. I'd love to have you here. We'll see you next video, alright? Take care of yourselves, and much love to Gary, Indiana, and all the good memories that it holds for a lot of us. That's why I do these videos, for us. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and kick some music on now and throw a couple pictures at the end of the video. Take care of yourselves, everybody out there, and happy holidays to you. December 2024, and you've been riding with the Steel City Storm. See you next video.